This is Norm Ritter. Today I've had the honor of presenting St. Marianne Cope, who is an awesome saint, full of energy from birth until death. Lived 80 years. Was born in 1838. And what was really kind of significant about her is that she was born in Germany at Darmstadt. And then the family really escaped a revolution there. And 2 years later, they moved to Utica, New York. They were very poor. They really entered an immigrant neighborhood, a Catholic immigrant neighborhood, and really survived from day to day. And she went to a Catholic school. Ultimately, her siblings grew with her through the school, and her dad eventually became very disabled and was not able to work and was not bringing any kind of money into the family, so she dropped out of school in 8th grade. With her energy and focus, she really worked hard to bring money and resources to the family. Her dad passed away in 1862, and by that time, her siblings were all really at the age where they could survive and thrive on their own. So she joined the Franciscan Sisters in Syracuse, New York. And the Franciscan Sisters in Syracuse, New York were really an order that was providing education to children. While she was there, and during her novitiate, she was assigned to teach in the school system, and she taught in the Catholic schools for a couple of years. Again, bringing a lot of enthusiasm and really a lot of people wanting to be in her classes. She was just full of spirit. And this is somebody I want to be someday at my age. But anyway, so she, in her initiative and drive, ultimately she became a sister that was moving up the order because all the sisters and nuns really enjoyed her. And so she was eventually assigned to take care of the health needs of the community. And what her focus was, and the sisters she worked with at the time, were really focused on taking care of those with the greatest needs. And that's something that she did her whole life. You know, what's kind of interesting is that she, at this time, was so full of energy that she eventually started organizing and looking to build hospitals in central New York. What was kind of interesting is when she built the hospital, she went, and this is entertaining to me, she went and bought a saloon, of all things. And women came together around her because they were excited that she took over a saloon, the sin of the neighborhood. And ultimately, she built a hospital there. And so she built 2 hospitals, one in Utica and one in Syracuse. Ultimately, she expanded the medical services outside into clinics and things like that to support the sick. What happened then eventually is that she was so good in providing health care to people that she developed a school around preparing people to be able to serve the health care or the health needs of people. And she built a college, a medical school. And that was just unbelievable. And then ultimately, Syracuse University purchased and invited her to lead their School of Medicine. In 1883, she received a letter from the Sandwich Islands, current-day Hawaiian Islands, to really help with their work with the Hansen's disease, or really leprosy. And there were 50 orders that were contacted by the King and Queen of Hawaii, and of the 50 orders, none of them wanted to go there because it was considered a very contagious disease. Sister, with her energy and the type of women that she attracted to the sisters, the Franciscan sisters, really wanted to do it. And so she had 35 of her sisters want to go to Hawaii. She eventually selected 6 of them, and they headed to Hawaii, and eventually arriving at Honolulu. And when they arrived at Honolulu, the king and queen greeted them, and they really did not go to Molokai, where they thought they were going to go, to be able to assist Father Damien, who was alive at that time and working with the Hansen's disease people on the Molokai Island. They basically found out what she could do, and they encouraged her to go ahead and build schools through the Sandwich Islands, and also to build hospitals. And ultimately, she did build hospitals there. Finally, she did have an opportunity to go to Molokai. And when she went to Molokai with her sisters, they took over the hospital there that Father Damien started, and basically started working with Father Damien. And he was sick at the time. So ultimately, she was at the bedside of Father Damien when he passed away. And she had the desire to go back to New York to be able to continue as the Mother General of her order. But the King and Queen of Hawaii convinced her to stay. And so then she was able to expand her services, not only at Molokai, but also in the other parts of the Sandwich Islands. Sister Marianne Cope ultimately passed away in 1918. She was canonized by Pope Benedict in 2012. And then she was really recognized, and she is a patron saint of lepers, outcasts, and those with HIV and AIDS. And really, she's also the patron saint of Hawaii. Her focus on serving the people with the greatest needs, especially the immigrants coming over, I think there's a strong message for us that eventually this could be you.